As young women, we are often told we don't have enough power yet. We don't have enough money, enough influence, or even enough authority. But let's break that down. Because as of 2024, women control 31.8 trillion in global spending. And within the next 5 years, women around the globe are projected to contribute 75% of discretionary spending. That's not potential power, that's current power. And today, we're going to break down what this actually means, how it compares to men, how corporations are responding, and most importantly, how we as women, especially Gen Z women, can come together and reclaim our wallets and actually strategize the way that we spend to uplift community impact. Hi, beautiful people. I'm Destiny Amaris, a thought leader, multimedia journalist, and women's advocate, educating and inspiring women to step into their power and purpose. This is the truth about women's spending power. Welcome to my channel. Diving into section 1, let's ground this conversation in data. No, I think or I feel, it states and I know. That's what we're getting into. And all of the respective sources will be linked down below. Women make up nearly half the global population, yet we influence 70 to 80% consumer spending worldwide. That means groceries, healthcare, beauty and personal care, household items, children's products, okay, you name it. Women are not just buyers. We are economic decision makers for our families and our communities. Now, when we compare this to men, men on this hand spend less per shopping trip, and women spend an average of $44.43 per trip. Why do we have this gap, you may ask? Well, this gap matters because it shows the difference in intentional spending and decision making. It's not just impulse. Okay, so as women, what does this tell us? Is that when we do spend money, we are actually using it more for impact. We're thinking about where is it going and we're doing the research beforehand. Whereas men, they do tend to buy more on impulse. We don't just spend more, we think more about where money goes. Moving on to section 2, let's break this down even further. We're gonna look at women's purchasing behavior versus men's purchasing behavior. This is very interesting to me because we like to say like we're all one, but we actually do a lot of things different, and I'm just really excited to talk about this. So what does women's purchasing behavior look like? It can look like a few different things. Research-driven, value-oriented, emotionally intelligent, and majority long-term focused, okay? And we have to talk online because women online are more likely to read reviews. That's definitely something that I do. We also compare ingredients. Right? We're looking at different ingredients. There's different apps now to do this. And we're also looking at brand ethics. These are values that also align with Gen Z, which is very interesting. Where are you getting your products from? Is this sustainable? Is this going to actually be good for us, young people, years down the road? Or what does your brand stand for politically? Like, we're seeing now that a lot of the general population, we do care about where our dollars are going based off of where these companies' values are at. So now let's compare this to men's spending habits. So men, they tend to rely more on availability, what's in store, what's on display, and usually what's more convenient. Ultimately, they like to make more in-store, quicker decisions. Now, I'm not saying one is better than the other, but what I am saying is when women do purchase things, they have an impact segment in mind. Whether this is conscious or subconsciously, women, we do this. Even asking things like, does this align with my values? When you think about the type of questions, or I guess like the points that we do, like a checklist when we're buying a product, again, whether it's subconscious or fully conscious, it's almost like leadership behavior, right? How is this gonna affect my community? This could be racial, this could be ethnicity, this could be gender, right? How is this gonna affect my community if I purchase this? What stigmas or societal norms is this going to reinforce? We have so much power in our hands with how we spend that, and I'm going to talk about this in a little bit, but how brands are trying to catch up and say, how can we better market a product to women based off all these check boxes that they do before they buy? Okay, moving on to section 3. So why are brands struggling to understand women? Because I'm sure you're online and you're thinking, but like, we have TikTok Shop, right? We have you can buy clothes on Instagram. We basically have a mall at our fingertips with all of these online stores. I'm pretty sure women are spending and they're marketing just fine. But hear me out. Despite all this influence that we're seeing through social media, 91% of women claim that brands misunderstand them, that they don't feel seen or heard properly by companies. Okay, this is a massive disconnect because what we're saying is companies, they still want women's money, but we're ignoring the societal norms being reinforced that women are not liking. cultural nuances, right? Paying attention to, is what I'm about to promote going to offend a demographic of people that we know historically will offend them? So can we stay away from that, right? Or even looking at like diverse lifestyles or like outdated things, right? We're not looking at the big picture when it comes to what we're putting in front of women's eyes and why they would want to buy from us. I'm saying this from like a company's perspective. And I do want to say this because as young women, as women of color, women in Gen Z, right, when we have this intersectionality of things that affect us, we are actually affected by this even more. So this is not a marketing issue, this is a representation issue. Because if the representation was there, then more of our dollars from all of these, I don't want to say unrepresented, but these groups that are not getting enough shine and enough attention in the marketing that they should be, or the attention that they should be getting, we're not seeing that. We're not seeing that. And that's truly affecting us. And that's why there's a high percentage, that 91% of women who feel that brands don't listen to them and they misunderstand them. There's still hope, right? Because we're in an age of innovation. There's so many things happening. There's new businesses, new companies popping up left and right online on social media. We're just like, oh my gosh, new company. We feel like we open up a social app and we feel like we have to buy something because there's always something new. There's always creative ideas. So this does open up a door for new brands to come in and to fill in the gaps that these 90% of women are feeling. Moving on to section 4. So we're talking about creations, innovations that are catering to women's needs specifically. I'm going to touch on period care. This category didn't explode, right? It didn't become a huge market out of nowhere. It was because women advocated for it. Health transparency, long-term sustainability. We wanted things that we could rely on and not wonder, is this gonna cause me problems down the line? And we're seeing that so much with the internet now being, right, with AI, ChatGPT, we're seeing things that we're able to research right away. Is this good for me? What's this product do? And so women had this demand for it, and now an influx of all these companies have come forward, not just traditional pads, tampons, but also reusable underwear, reusable pads. For the people that do care about sustainability, there are options. People who do care about, right, menstruators who do care about different menstrual care options, there's options for you too. Let me drop some numbers on you. Let me drop some data, okay? According to Nielsen IQ data, the feminine hygiene sector is valued at 170 million. 170 million, you heard that right. And the overall period care market grew only 7%. So this is not necessarily a trend, right? Oh, period care products is trending. This is a shift in power because what happened? Women advocated for what they wanted and what they wanted to see in products that they were consuming, right? As consumers, as buyers, as spenders, here's what we're wanting. And once it was presented, it went up. But you want to know what's even more powerful? 75% of new products in feminine hygiene are considered growers. So that's a 120 growth index, outperforming products, innovations in other categories. Pause. What's a growth index? A growth index is basically a comparison score. Think of it like this. A normal product at a store is walking at 100 pace. Now, a product with a growth index of 120, she's not walking, okay? She's in a power strut and heels. She's moving. It means that category is moving 20% faster than everything else around it. That's crazy. Reusable period care is essentially the it girl of its category. Bet you didn't know that. Section 5, health and beauty, a $100 billion industry. The health and beauty industry is worth $100 billion. So that's around 16 million units sold annually, right? Units, products, items, essentially, and with around 400,000 points of distribution. So that could be in Ulta, a Walmart, a Target, right? These places that these units, right? These items are being sold. 16 billion units sold and over 400,000 points of distribution. Okay, so you might be wondering, so why does this matter? Well, what drives a woman's purchase decision? Representation, inclusion, things that she can see herself in the product. She can see herself using the product in some way, whether it's tapping into ethos, pathos, right? The emotion that she has. Is it the ethics of the product? These drive purchasing decisions for women. I feel like this is now more important than ever. I'm seeing firsthand on social media women saying, I actually love that your marketing campaign had women with real bodies. right? Women that have not gotten work or plastic surgery done, and because they're seeing themselves in the marketing campaign. They're seeing the same top on different bodies. Another one, offering something for everybody. People who have different disabilities, how can they implement these products into their life? Is it accessible for them, or will they have to go the extra mile to use a product? Things like that. Okay, as women, we're not just driving sales, we're funding narratives. We're funding narratives. We're putting money into what we're wanting to see and hear more of. So if you're stopping and you're thinking, okay, Destiny, when's the last time I bought something? Okay, why did I buy that? Was it because I wanted to fit in with society? Is this going to contribute to a personal goal of mine? Is this going to an organization? Was it not for me? Was it a gift? Starting to reflect on those things will even show you your own buying pattern. Section 6, what actually drives women's purchases? And I'm gonna break it down into 3 pillars: quality, emotional connection, and community impact. Those are the biggest 3 things that actually drives a woman's dollar from her bank account, from her wallet, to potentially an online website and ordered a product. Okay, so breaking down quality, we're looking at a product that it's like, is this sustainable? Like, can I use this over time? Right? Because sometimes it's not, oh, I just want to buy things that are not expensive. Sometimes we're looking at, well, is this product durable for the long run? Can I use this for years? Think about products like a vacuum, right? You're going to want a vacuum that's not going to last you a year. You got to go out to the market, buy another vacuum, and hope that it doesn't break. You might spend a few hundred on a vacuum if you know it's one time lifting it into the car, into the house, and taking care of it, versus having to get it multiple times or once a year. That's an idea of, I'd rather purchase something that's a little bit more expensive because it's more sustainable. Someone who's a stay-at-home mom is going to be thinking more about something like that, right? I'm home all the time, I'm using this product, how can I go about spending this? But for the most part, women, we're looking at high quality products for luxury price, not for luxury's sake, but a nice product, it's priced properly, okay, I will invest in it. Okay, emotional connection. This is amazing because we always say, women, we're so emotional. I take that as a compliment because when we're emotional, we're energetically more connected to ourselves and to everything around us. People, places, and things. When a brand or a company is targeting a woman toward their emotional connection, we're looking at, is this bringing me back nostalgia, right? I feel like right now, for us that was born in the early 2000s, we're all in this like 2016, right? That's a nostalgic thing. So, you know what a brand could do right now? You know what a brand could do right now, which I haven't seen yet, but I guess after this video, if they do it, who knows, they saw it here first, but bringing back some 2016 themed things, right? Is it the green bomber jacket that everyone was wearing, that one green jacket, right? Or are they bringing back different aspects from other parts? Is this gonna remind me of my first love? Is this gonna remind me of the first restaurant I went to, right? Like, can you tap into my emotions so that's why I buy this? And this is honestly information that I learned in school. It's called psychographics. Psychographics is something that you learn when you're psychologically marketing to the consumer. You're psychologically understanding that what are their thoughts, what are their life patterns, and how can I match that with the way that I market this product. I know it goes deep. It's deep. It's deep when we talk about marketing. They're intentionally thinking, instead of just going to the store, which one's cheaper, and then having these problems. And you know, sometimes it takes that to happen, right? For them to start thinking more consciously in how they buy things. And number 3, social responsibility. So social responsibility looks like gender equality. It looks like community impact, right? How are things impacting women, and how can we stand up against things that are impacting us in a negative way? One example that I caught at the end of 2025 was the Always pads, so the menstrual pads that a lot of women were finding had mold and different things in them. And so they posted about it, and we're like, as women, we need to be alerting each other about these things because this is very important, right? Our health is at risk. I took it upon myself. I reached out to different brands that I felt safe using with my own body as a woman who menstruates, right? And they were able to send me products. I was able to test them out and recommend them to the people that follow me, because that's so important. As women, we don't separate money from meaning. Every dollar is a vote. Our health is so important. As women, everything is on the outside that we're absorbing and soaking in. Lastly, section 7, reclaiming our wallets, reclaiming our power. So what do we do with this knowledge? What do we do with all this data and all this information that we just learned? We need to stop underestimating ourselves. We need to stop acting like our dollar does not hold power in how we use it and where we determine that it goes. We are economic drivers. We are culture curators. We are the catalyst for this industry. Reclaiming our wallets means supporting women-owned brands, investing in products locally, asking more questions before we buy, looking at how is this going to impact me today? How is this going to impact women as a whole? How is this going to impact me 10 years down the line? And is this going to shape a society norm that I believe in and want to continue? Or do I want to not continue this norm and shop in a way that goes against the grain? Okay, if the camera looks different, I did switch to a different camera because my other phone that I was filming on, it died. I didn't even notice until the end. Yeah, if the angle looks different, it's because the other camera died and we're good, back up. Okay, but to wrap up this video, we're already economic drivers, right? We're already influencing the global market with every dollar that we spend. So let's reclaim our wallets, okay? Let's reclaim our wallets by continuing to support women-owned brands, investing in things locally, right? Supporting our local farmers and local companies, mom and pop shops. And let's also continue to ask more questions before we buy. Is this reflecting of my values and my goals for my personal life, for women as a whole, and for my community, where I see things in the long run? If you see yourself as a visionary, these are the type of questions that you ask yourself. It's not always just about you, it's about the people that you affect. We're all indirectly affecting each other. And for those of us building brands, nonprofits, initiatives, this data is leverage, okay? This data is gold. You're able to take all these statistics and use them in pitch decks. Put them in the forefront when talking to brands. Hey, did you know X% of women does this? Did you know women's spending patterns are like that? You'd think that a lot of these brands already know this, and sometimes they don't. It's also our civic responsibility to educate them because we are the consumer. So I guess our consumer responsibility, but it is our responsibility to educate them and tell them what we will accept, what we will not accept. What makes us want to buy more things, what makes us want to stay away from buying certain things. We have to communicate and advocate on behalf of ourselves and our desires and what our community ultimately needs. As women, we do not need permission. We do not need permission to step into economic power. We're already there. We are already there. We've been there and we're going to continue to excel in where we're at. And that starts with knowing our power. And my goal through this video was to help you remember. Remembering is to put back together what was once lost or forgotten. So put back together and remember your power. And it starts from your fingertips to your bank account, okay? If this video inspired you, it gave you clarity, confidence, or anything that has to do with women's spending power and the light came on, the aha moment happened, share it with another woman. Share it with another woman in your life because an informed woman creates informed communities. Love all, love y'all, and I will see y'all in the next video.